We all know that Jim Harbaugh may not be long for the college football world as the flirting and the interviewing and the talks with the San Diego Chargers and the NFL continue to progress. It came out even yesterday that a deal was within striking distance. But what you don't realize, or what you may not have thought about, is there's an intentional reason that things are being delayed on the Harbaugh side. Now, if you're the Chargers, you certainly want to get your head coach in place. You certainly want to make a hire, whether that's Jim Harbaugh or anyone else. But if you're Jim Harbaugh, why would you be delaying this process? Well, I think there's a couple of reasons, but one stands out above everything else. I think that reason is something he's doing for Michigan that Michigan fans should very much appreciate. There's a reason that he's delaying, and I think he's delaying until the semester is completely locked in around college football. I think he's delaying until a point that kids couldn't necessarily quickly transfer to another college, another university. Why would he do this? Well, did you see what happened at Alabama? Did you see what happened at Washington? When playoff teams, when playoff caliber rosters no longer had a head coach. When playoff caliber and very good teams no longer had a head coach. This wasn't a 5-7 roster at Alabama or Washington that got rid of a coach because he wasn't very good. They got left behind due to one guy taking a job and one guy retiring from a job. And their rosters are plentiful, and the entire country could then wreak havoc on them. Alabama's lost nearly 30 guys. Washington, a very large amount too. Some to the NFL, some to the portal. But Michigan would potentially experience some of those same things if Harbaugh bolted immediately. Now, Michigan guys can still announce that they're going into the transfer portal. But can they transfer once everyone else has already started school? Now, they can announce a destination. They could say, I'll be there after the spring. I'll be there for the summer window. Absolutely. But if school has started everywhere else around the country, they can't land on another campus and they can't participate in spring football anywhere else. So it would make sense, even if you were going to leave after Harbaugh went to the NFL, that you'd probably wait until after spring. Well, that may give a new coaching staff, whether it's an external hire like Brian Kelly that's been rumored, or maybe an internal promotion, it would give them time to keep the roster intact. It would give them the spring to keep their team together. You would certainly still have people leave. Harbaugh can announce today, he could announce in 2 weeks, and you would still have people jump in the portal. I'm not saying that it's going to fix everything, but if you don't have a place to land, does it somewhat help the university? And does it help Michigan athletics? Does it help the football team? Absolutely. You see what happened to Bama and Washington may not happen to Michigan because of the timing of it. Also, Michigan on the back end may be trying to coordinate a replacement. They may be trying to find that successor for Harbaugh. Did you notice how quickly the Alabama hire of Kalen DeBoer was made? Incredibly quickly. We talked about that. We spoke about how fast they were able to make that hire. Well, that's probably because Nick Saban didn't let them know the same time that the news started breaking that he was retiring. I'd imagine Nick Saban gave a little bit of a heads up to Alabama. I'd imagine he gave a little bit of a warning. Hey, this is my plan. Start to get your ducks in a row. Start to get your orders in the right affair. I believe Harbaugh is doing the same thing. I don't think Harbaugh is the kind of guy that would just leave Michigan high and dry. You can think what you want. You may like the guy. You may not like the guy. I know there's controversy. I know there's rules being broken. I know about Connor Stallions. I know about all this stuff. But I do think he's doing Michigan a solid right now. If you're a Michigan fan, you should appreciate this. Whether he goes, stays, comes, goes, leaves, doesn't matter. He's doing Michigan a favor, not only from a roster perspective, but also from a private search. A search that's kind of happening in the shadows. A search that's kind of happening not in everyone's limelight. It doesn't necessarily look good if you're Alabama to strike out on Dan Lanning and then strike out on Steve Sarkisian and then strike out on Mike Norvell. You may think that those guys were never targets, and Alabama fans will tell you those guys were never targets. And that's fine. We can all believe what we want. But if you're Michigan and you can announce a hire immediately, you don't go through the circus of, oh, we got turned down here, we got turned down there. Brian Kelly told us no, this, that, and the other, when some of those guys may or may not have been candidates anyway. I think Harbaugh's doing Michigan a big favor here. I think him delaying is strategic. I think whether he goes or stays, whichever, he may be torn somewhat, but I think whether he goes or stays, this is a big deal. Everybody's making a big deal about the immunity. We made a big deal about it too. We made a video on it, and I stand by all that. I believe all that. But if you're a Michigan fan, you should focus less on the immunity things that he's asking for, and you should focus more on the solid he's doing your program in your university by delaying any kind of an announcement. Hey, this is a brand new channel. We've continued to echo that. We've continued to tell you that. If you like the content, do me a favor. Hit the share button. Share it with some friends. Make sure you're subscribed. We're going to keep bringing national content your way. I don't know if it'll be daily, but it'll be several times a week. College football addiction. I love college football. I've watched it my whole life. I've covered it for the last couple of years, specifically with some team stuff, but want to look at it from a national perspective. Trying to grow this page. Have a new logo you can see behind me. We're excited about that too. Something kind of fun. Might do some merch with that. I want a shirt or a hat with that skull on it. But thank you guys for tuning in. Listen, we're going to try and cover all college football, national stuff, so not going to show a lot of favoritism one way or the other, but we'd love for you to be part of College Football Addiction. I appreciate you guys watching our new channel. Make sure you subscribe, and we'll talk to you guys soon.